Hey everyone, welcome to another review here on Go Mango.
No!
Alright, as always, I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
Cinder Blaze.
Dude, welcome back. On today's episode, we are going to be reviewing episode 9 of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. We're going to be digging into your guys' comments, but before that, let's dive into our thoughts. And I thought, man, we got some cool forms on display, and we're really building out the, I guess, separate faction of the pirate team, and I think it's very fun.
Yeah.
Where are you landing with this episode, and I guess the whole secondary team?
I liked it a lot. I think like going into this episode, I was very like iffy on two Kaiser. Like I
Sure.
kind of liked his form. I kind of like disliked it in some regards. But like the character just kind of like pulled it all together in this
Mhm.
one and kind of like solidified like what the two Kaiser group is like kind of like all about. They're from like another world, pirate world, and it kind of makes sense that they kind of like stole a bunch of things. Stole Google Kaiser's form. When was it? The army kind of like went to invade their planet. They went and stole some of the oh my god, the gears.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
so blanking out on this one, but it was a really simple explanation for all that,
Mhm.
and like it just let us like kind of jump into enjoying like the characters because it's even
Yeah.
though like this was like not his debut episode, but like I would consider it more of a like debut like episode
Mhm.
because he was only in like the last part for like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
So
that was the fluff. This was the context, and I enjoyed the context a lot.
yeah, they set up the relationship with Taito, the rest of the group, and like his little family subunit, and I thought they balanced all of them well with
Yeah,
the kaiju of the week,
and like
the monster.
as much as the I like the sort of reluctant camaraderie and or like slight respect to Kaiser's getting for Kaito, even though I'm not big on Kaito yet. I appreciate that he is finding something to like out of that team and out of him. Um,
Yeah,
though I will say though, I know it was meant to be a joke at the end that he paid with currency that isn't part of that world, but that really sucks for a small business like a lot. Uh, so that took me way the hell out of it. Like, damn, dude,
yeah.
that's
I,
shitty.
that's like the one little gripe I did
Yeah,
pick up at the end of the episode as well. I think I kind of like forgot about it, but that was real nasty.
yeah, that that hurt. That hurt in
Like,
a way that I don't think the episode was intending. I get that it was a joke, but like,
yeah,
oof, too soon.
like the grandma like actually looked hurt. It's like, holy
Yeah,
shit, your ass needs to get a job because you lost us all that money. Uh,
yeah,
but like honestly, he did steal it. It
he did.
sounds like
Yeah,
really like Kaito's fault, but
yeah.
yeah, that
It's
was
unfortunate.
yeah.
What did you think of the two form debuts that we got? We got the O-Ranger form and the Shinkenger form.
All right, first thing, the O Ranger form. I've never been a huge fan of the O Ranger designs, but I am a fan of this form just because of, like the energy kind of put into the henshin. Like he's just dancing for so long, and it's like it's
I
it's kind of fun. It's really enjoyable,
Yeah,
so I
like
don't mind it.
none of the O-Ranger aesthetic even transferred to this form though. So like even if you don't like the O-Ranger look, it's not gonna have any bearing on your enjoyment of this form.
No, like technically, it's even worse in his form because he just has like a loincloth with just like all their faces on it, or like their face
Yeah,
mask
yeah,
design.
yeah.
So I was just like,
Don't touch that.
whatever, whatever. This is fun. Like I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the way he was fighting and like the choreography for the fight, like
Mm.
stellar. Like I didn't like really remember much of how a ranger fought, but when the Shinkenger form came
Oh
back, I was
God.
like, I remember that fight straight up.
I went back to see if that was like a callback to episode 1 of Shinkenger. It might have been some other one, but I was looking back at episode 1 where Takaru shows up and like wipes the floor with all the baddies, and that was not the same, but it had the same feel.
Yeah.
I appreciated going back to that a bit.
Yeah, I think Takaru's sword technique was very distinct, and like considering how many sword users we have in all of Sentai, for us to kind of like really recognize his, because like they even had like the behind the back block, like
oh my god,
that kind of like stance and composure that Takaru had, and it was all there. So that was a really nice nod to the fans.
Just holding the sword and running, running in a single direction and holding your sword like on their chest. Oh, it's
the intimidation from that alone.
I know.
Chills, man, chills. How'd you feel about like almost all of our Kikainoids being sidelined this episode?
I mean, this is where obviously the show's supposed to work as both an ensemble and sort of like, hey, Kaito's the main character. This is basically his story. And this is definitely a his story kind of episode. And I think their role as side characters absolutely worked because they are a different species. It felt kind of like they were the sidekicks that we typically get with shows like this, so they are able to toe the line between both part of the team and sidekicks. And to be fair, Red and Yellow basically did most of the work until they got there. And it gave them a really good catalyst to bring the two teams together. So I definitely appreciated how that all shook out, even though, we got a wacky monster with a wacky power, but it brought the characters together in a meaningful way, and I think it was effective.
Yeah, and it made everyone crave mochi at the very end. So
that's right.
Successful in that. It was good in that part. For me, it made me like kind of like realize like the human characters that we do have are like they just seem so much more like not like so much more elevated, but they're like definitely above the Kikainoids in terms of like character development, because like they have like motives and like they're trying to like get somewhere, whereas like I feel like for the rest of the Kikainoids, except for maybe like Vroom, who is kind of like on the I want to find more knowledge about Earth kind of way, but that's like a very small motive. And I think for Majin, like we're only going to be getting developments for her like insecurities in very minute episodes. Like that's kind of like where they've set it up. And Gaon and Juron, they just seem like they're real fun characters. They're real nice, compliments to Kaito. But like it doesn't seem like they have like the same kind of drive that Kaito, Stacy, and Vox. Is it
Zox? Zox, yeah. Zox Tweaker.
Yeah.
Suika.
Yeah. Like obviously Zox, his motivation may not be like that strong, but his world did get taken over by the Kikainoid, so who knows?
Yeah.
Like if he has anything like that, maybe that's the thing that brings Kaito in. The
And
two Kaiser group together.
Even though we haven't seen like a strong overall motivation for him, the fact that he went so hard to save his sister, I feel like was good enough and strong enough to like carry throughout this episode specifically. So it's good enough for now, but like you said, we don't have much in terms of like a full-on motivation, and I would like to see that a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Alex, we got some comments. You down to dig into some of these?
Sure. Let's head right in.
All right. Cool. So this first comment comes from Basil Eldo, who says, "This episode is great, and I like the new forms for 2 Kaiser. I also like the explanation for how Flint just straight up said she copied 2 Kaiser's suit from the Gokaigers. Yeah, really great. If you're gonna steal a suit, steal a good one, and they did. All right, next up we have Dustin Smith. He says, "At long last, I've returned. Sorry about that. My schedule balancing various activities, programs, and of course work. I've been having difficulty keeping track of your watch-along vids. So have I. And because of that, I end up forgetting about them. But at least I'm here. I remembered. So let me get this out of the way. I've been really enjoying Zenkaiger with the characters, the Kikainoids. By the way, my favorite Kikainoid is Gaon, because of the fact that he's a big softie when it comes to animals. I can relate to that. Kaito, while he's so far yet to beat Juru in character, I do like that they established a mystery with him regarding his family. Stacy, our Bosco/Enter of the series in terms of human-looking members of the villains, is defiantly a fascinating case too. Oh, definitely a fascinating case too. Although I am a bit confused about the linguistics of why a human woman would ever essentially...
The mechanics, not linguistics.
Yeah, the linguistics is like speaking. And of course, I can't.
I mean, the linguistics might also play a factor here, but we're not going to go into that right
now. And of course, I can't forget to mention the carefree pirate of the gold alligator-looking ship, Zox Gold Tweaker, aka 2 Kaiser. I do have a small nitpick with introducing him this early in the series, but whatever. He certainly did make quite the entrance in last week's episode. I'm a bit confused about how he tapped into the Gokaiger powers, but perhaps we'll get an explanation later in the series. I mean, he didn't tap into the Gokaiger powers. Like, he used... Basically, they are using the Zenkaiger powers, and whatever suit that they create, they just wanted it to look like the Gokaiger suit, and that's just what comes out of the gear that they made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, obviously, the sister is an engineer who's capable of doing that.
Of course, yeah. Fitting a whole suit into a gear.
Mm-hmm.
The world robots are monsters of the week for the Toji Tendo, and they certainly have been an interesting bunch from Mushroom, Iceboxing, Sushi, Trash Door, and now Mochi. Which, by the way, his ability to turn humans into Kikai and Kikainoids into Mochi craving zombies kind of reminds me of that old U.S. Yoshi's Cookie Game Boy commercial. I'm a bit confused with the fish in that mech fight, but whatever. It was great to see you guys. I'm hoping to get back on track with your watch-along vids, of course, depending on how my schedule treats me. Well, hey, it's lovely to have you back. Hope you find time to, I don't know, just sit down and enjoy some Zenkaiger with us. But thank you for doing so with this episode. Yeah, anyways, let's take a look at what Matt Hunt has to say with our final comment, saying, "Great reaction as always, guys." Thank you, Matt. I'm thoroughly enjoying what 2 Kaiser is bringing to the show and his family/crew. There's a lot of fun silliness with his character, but they underplay that by giving him an honestly intimidating mean streak. There's a way he postures himself in the fight against Kaito where it makes you wonder if he's entirely sane. I like that they've given him the archetype of a protective brother, not an overprotective one. I feel like that's not something we see in these shows a whole lot. I mean, I agree. I will say, in terms of older brothers, he lets his younger siblings have a lot more agency, than trying to micromanage their life. So I definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm interested in what Ijirud is planning with Stacy to up the villain game a bit, because 2 Kaiser is a bigger threat to them right now than the Zenkaigers are. I also like that the Monster of the Week was the B plot, but they tied it nicely into the A plot. Sentai doesn't really have B plots, and to see it handled well was nice. I really want some Kashiwa Mochi now, though. Fun fact, Kashiwa Mochi is internationally eaten on Children's Day in Japan, May 5th. That's also why the monster fired carp kites at them. Interesting. You, potentially answered Dustin Smith's thing. It was a Children's Day situation. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that was popping up everywhere. Pretty neat.
Yeah. Hey, those are some great comments. Thank you guys for leaving them. If I happen to miss your guys' comment, I'm very sorry. Hopefully you can get them in next time. We're going to be doing, as usual, another watch along next week, hopefully on a Monday. Get your comments in by 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on that one so you can get them read in the reviews. Anyways, Alex, do you have anything else on this episode before we get the hell out of here?
Nope, we're good.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the episode, like button, and also the subscribe button. And also in the description, some links to some Zenkaiger merch that I designed myself. You can take a look at that and the other links for how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement and the hashtag Stop Anti-Asian Hate. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it.
Yep, see ya.
That was a lot of talking at the end.
Yeah. Specify Mina was doing that Lego.
Yes, that
thing.
was. Yeah. It said children's. Yeah. I didn't
Did you
get
watch
to watch
that?
it.
Oh my god, I watched that entire